And good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Most Important Conversations Daily Meditations. We record these meditations Monday through Friday, and the theme of the meditations is liberation. We are interested in helping listeners with insights into how you can liberate yourself from your conditioning. Specifically, your conditioning are the habituated and conditioned ways of being that you learned from your friends, family, and community about who you should be, why you should be it, what you should be, how you should do it. It's whenever we're looking outside of ourselves for the answers, we are entrapping ourselves in conditioning. And it's important to liberate yourself from your conditioning so that you can become a powerful creator of your own life as opposed to a consumer of someone else's life by consuming their rules, their expectations, their constructs of who you should be, etc. And we begin each meditation each day with a short talk, and the content of these talks is derived from our core ontological transformational program called Whole Life Architecture, where participants get together in a live virtual format every week to work together so that they can both individually develop and create a life by design as opposed to merely tolerating their life by default, but also to learn from one another, to support one another. It's an accountability container. It's a learning container. It's a support container. It's a creativity container. And specifically, when we say creativity, we mean creating your own life, becoming the essential creator that you are, that you were conditioned out of, that you learned not to be at a very young age. You know, when you think about it, all children naturally create. No one needs to teach them how to play, how to imagine, how to invent, how to daydream, how to vision. We just do it as children. On the contrary, we've all been conditioned how not to be creators, how not to play, how not to imagine, how not to daydream, how not to envision possibilities. And this is the source essence of who we are as human beings. And so this is why most people merely are consuming life from the outside, from opinion leaders, from politicians, from teachers, from their family. We've been trained to always be looking outside of ourselves for who we should be. And so we're interested in helping you step into your power as a creator. And we've been talking about creativity throughout the month of January. And as we moved into February this week, we started talking about perception and how perception is one of those key elements in being a powerful creator, realizing that you as creator have the ability to also create your perception, to create what you see and what you take in as information as part of your mind diet. What information is available to you, you have the ability to create your perception so that the information available to you aligns with who and what you are creating yourself and your life to be like. Now, that might sound odd because most of us have never heard of, let alone been trained in, how to be a creator of our own perception. But it is essential because what you perceive is what you believe you have access to in terms of data. So our belief systems under the surface affect what we perceive, and then we perceive that which we believe, which just recursively reinforces our belief system, and we become trapped. We may have the emotional intelligence that tells us we would desire something else for our life. Maybe we desire to live somewhere else, desire a different job, desire a different relationship, desire to be healthy. Whatever our desires are, the abyss or the gap between what we desire and the life we're actively living is a consequence of our perception. You know, if you can imagine as a metaphor approaching a cliff or what occurs to you as a cliff. And on the other side of that cliff, there is another cliff separated by a massive valley or a massive canyon, if you can imagine that in your mind right now. Now, your perception is what tells you this path I'm walking on ends and dips into a canyon, and then on the other side is another cliff. Well, how am I supposed to cross this? It seems insurmountable. Now, your perception tells you that. But what if someone else had a different perception? Instead of walking up to the cliff, the very cliff you think you're standing in front of and feel like it's something you're not going to be able to scale and get over, someone else just walks right across what occurs to you as air, like nothing. They just walk across that canyon to the other side. Because in their perception, they never encountered a canyon. In fact, there was no break at all in the ground. They just kept walking as though nothing was going on. Now, this, of course, is a metaphor, but it's a powerful metaphor because it shows us that our perception is our reality. You ran into a canyon and stopped. They didn't see a canyon, and therefore they kept walking and were unencumbered. How many canyons are you believing you're running into, and because you believe it, you perceive that you're running into, that aren't even there? In our life, these are the times where we say, I can't. I shouldn't. We run up against that canyon. Or you could use another metaphor. We run up against a wall. Your perception has you stop in front of something that occurs to you as a wall, and someone else just walks right through the wall because they don't perceive it. There are people doing things in their life that you literally wish you could do, but you have a story that says you can't. And so your trap is one of your own perception. And I would say it's one of your own creation, one of your own makings. Now, the reality is you probably learned to perceive the wall or the canyon. And so you're in this story that you learned from your friends, family, and community about who you should be. And who you should be is not the person who doesn't see a wall and doesn't see a canyon and therefore continues to walk towards the thing you wish you could walk towards. Instead, you see the wall and the canyon because you've been conditioned to. Every time you encounter something in your life where you have a desire for something else, but you stop yourself, this is learned behavior. This is conditioning. And this conditioning affects your perception of what's possible, and your perception of what's possible is an artifact or a byproduct of your belief systems. And your belief systems were shaped when you were very young, before you had a say in it, before you could even challenge it. And then we go on living our life, and those belief systems move from being sort of a new idea to an entrenched element of our personality that now becomes subconscious and we're not even aware of it anymore. Most people are not present to what they believe, let alone why they believe what they believe. Because this all happened when we were very young, so most people can't trace it back. Not that you need to. You just need to know that you have these walls or these canyons that you are running into over and over and over again in your life. And it is creating a limited, small life by default. And so perception, which is a consequence of our belief systems, is an enormous thing that we handle in the Whole Life Architecture program. How to become the master architect and creator of your belief systems and therefore change your perception of what's possible for you. And by changing this perception, suddenly that which occurs to you as a wall or a canyon becomes a wide open road. Perception is your reality, and it is for all of us. Those of us who learn to expand our perception, we all have a perceptual filter that determines what data points are let into our mind and which ones are blocked. And the way our brain works is our brain only lets in those data points that already align and conform with the life we're living, not the life we desire. Because the life we desire is not obviously what we're living, and that desire would require change. And the brain is terrified of change. The brain will do everything in its power to resist change at all costs. So much so that it'll put up walls and canyons to prevent us from taking that next step. But if you learn to change and transform your perceptual filter, suddenly new data points get through that perceptual filter. New information that you can use in making different choices for yourself and no longer being trapped in the story of I can't. And the reason I know this is possible is because other people are doing what you say you wish and desire to do. What's the perceptual block? What belief system is working under the surface to reinforce that perceptual block? So liberating yourself from your conditioning includes liberating yourself from beliefs that do not serve what you wish to create in the world. And whoever disagrees with you, that's their problem. That's not your concern. Because remember, most of us like to keep each other small and trapped so that we don't have to grow. So you're going to deal with people that are against you when you expand, when you grow, when you step powerfully into your role as a creator of your own life. People are going to think you're crazy, and they're going to want you to stop, because if you can do it, it challenges their belief system, and then it challenges their perception, and it challenges their own brain's fortress that has been created so that they also don't change. So what do you desire? And what belief systems and perceptions, perceptual filter, is in the way of it? I invite you to consider that this morning as we move into our neural sculpting meditation, which I'm going to invite Mignon now to join us and guide us through.
Thank you, Chad. And greetings, everyone. So, in this meditation, for the month of February, we're doing a fill-in neural sculpting meditation. And this neural sculpting fill-in meditation creates space with a more authentic knowing or intentional idea after releasing a story or stress or fear that no longer serves us. So you may hear me spell out words or dial things up or down along with some playful imagery, all by design as part of the neural sculpting meditation process. This process helps calm the nervous system, primes the brain for supportive ideas, and gives you agency in how you move through your life. A regular neural sculpting practice can help anchor desired outcomes and create lasting shifts. I hope you find this supportive. So let's get started. So together, we'll go on a little meditation journey, and we'll start first by saying hello to your body in this moment, wiggling out any tension, rolling out wrists or ankles, or giving the body a gentle stretch wherever that might feel good. And you might like to find a comfortable seat, or perhaps you prefer to lay down, adjusting your environment to support you however you'd like it to. And your thoughts can be focused or scattered, but your body is right here in one place, waiting to respond to your mind. So, what if you could notice at this moment which parts of your body would like a little permission to let go and relax a little more, so that you sink your weight into the cushion or mattress or ground just a little further? You could now become aware of your breath that is always breathing in and out. And only in this particular moment you might be noticing it, but it is consistently supporting you in all moments. If you could bring awareness lower into the body, allowing the body to soften, your inhale might dive just a bit deeper, filling you even more, expanding belly and lungs. And your exhale, that can just spill right out of you effortlessly, as though it could fill the room. Emptying yourself on the exhale, allowing breath to fill you back up with an inhale. In and out. Your breath slower, smoother, longer, deeper. And there are things at this moment that might make you comfortable. Possibly a comforting thought or a specific aspect of the room that may be supporting your comfort. Your most basic needs are happening in this particular moment in time. Your body is doing everything it's designed to do. You are breathing. And as all of this keeps supporting you from moment to moment, you are reminded that your creative mind can go wherever you'd like it to go. So it might be interesting to imagine that you were a tree, what kind of tree would you imagine being? Would you be a tall, majestic redwood standing for hundreds of years? Or would you be a young sapling or maybe a pine tree? What do you imagine? Or maybe it would be more fun to imagine having an extra pair of arms. With 4 arms and 4 hands, would you get a lot more done? What do you imagine could happen having that extra set of hands and arms? How wild would that be? And with your creative mind able to go where it wants while your body remains comfortable and breathing, you might find extra comfort knowing that you are the author of this meditation. A meditation to anchor yourself into something wonderful. Maybe there's a concept, a word, a feeling that would be so wonderful right now. This may be as simple as CALM, calm, or joy, or ease, EASE, or some other word that would serve you better in this moment. What comes to mind for you? This word, this idea, this might be something you are familiar with from your past. This might be something you have never experienced before. Maybe this is something that is natural for you and feels really good to embody. And because your breath is breathing itself and your creative mind is awakened, you can bring this word to life right in this very moment. If this word could have a color, what would that be for you? Maybe it's bright and warm like orange, or maybe it's green and deep. It might have a shape round. Maybe it has a temperature, warm or cooling. Perhaps a texture, bubbly and spacious, or smooth and slick, perhaps light and feathery. What does your creative mind do? What would it be like to take this color, texture, vibration, this word or concept, and drink it in or drop it right into your body like a dye dropped into a glass of water? Could you imagine where it anchors in and what that might feel like? Maybe it's a warmth that spreads or a deepness that anchors you comfortably. How might your mind imagine it spreading? Is that a pulse that moves through your body? Is it an illumination that brightens your inner landscape? Or is that something different for you? And remembering that your body listens to your narrative, so too your body is listening to the way you relate to this wonderful concept and these colors and vibrations. You might even notice sensation. Where is your body most responsive to this experience? It might show up like a glow on your face that turns the edges of your mouth up into a smile. Or it might be a relaxed softening in your belly. What do you notice? This is how your body is relating and associating with this concept. And you get to remember that, marking it in your body's memory with a simple hand gesture, if that's comfortable. Or perhaps using your non dominant hand and placing it on your body to use as a reminder of this experience. There might be a word that can also activate this experience for you in your day to day life. A word that you can say or write or hear or read letter by letter. What is that word or that phrase for you? And because your body listens so well to your mind, your body may remember this story each time you say your word or make your hand gesture or do this meditation, filling yourself in with what serves you best. And just as your breath breathes itself, even when you're not noticing it, so too this vibration can expand, even when you're not noticing it. And each and every breath can integrate this experience more and more until it becomes familiar, widespread inside of you. Integrate it. You are invited to continue to explore this concept, idea, or word, allowing it to expand in your inner landscape, even as you move your awareness to your outer landscape. To hearing the sounds around you, moving fingers and toes, and gently opening your eyes when you're ready to end your fill in meditation. Thank you for joining today's neural sculpting meditation. And I encourage you to take a few moments to journal about your experience. You're invited to join us for our weekly meditations Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific. And I'm Mignon Harris, a certified neural sculpting facilitator. And you can learn more about our meditations and my work offerings at tmicglobal.com and find the link for vitalform.life for the neural sculpting information. Wishing you a gorgeous day. Be well.